Watch this before you buy your next car. Here's the thing. Most vehicles lose their value whenever you finance it and you go buy a new car. So a lot of people face negative equity, which means you're probably going to get a new higher payment. And most likely there's people that just keep adding negative equity to their next vehicle to the point where they just can't anymore, and they're stuck in a vehicle they don't like, or it's not running good for them. And this is how you get out of it. There's two ways. Most people either lease a vehicle. The reason for that is they'll take all that negative equity, add it onto the next vehicle that they lease it for 36 months, and whenever they have to turn in the vehicle, all that negative equity disappears, which is great because that means you can start fresh, you can buy a new car, and you can go about your day. But there's a second way, and this is for people that are kind of iffy about leasing a vehicle. You can find a vehicle that has a lot of rebates. So for me at Cardinal Buick GMC, we have a tendency of working with credit challenged people, but we have a vehicle like a Buick Encore that has rebates of over $3,000, which is great to get people, first-time buyers, bad credit, or just a negative equity into a newer vehicle without the hassle. Second vehicle we have is actually I have in front of me is a Sierra. They tend to have $7,000 of rebates, which is good to eliminate that negative equity and get you into a vehicle. But that tends to have a higher payment. Just because you're getting rid of that negative equity doesn't mean you're going to get a $200, $300 monthly payment. It means that you're going to take the steps to have a little bit of a higher payment, maybe $500-$600 monthly payment, and restart in 3 years or so, depending on the vehicle that you choose. And whenever that happens, you're not just going to keep building your credit and get a lower interest rate, because a lot of people I work with is credit challenged people. They tend to have higher interest rates, which means most of the time that they're buying a vehicle, they're not paying on the vehicle. They are paying just on the interest, which means when it's time to trade in, they're in so much negative equity, and that's a problem, right? So most people either refinance it or they lease it. They lease a vehicle so they do not have to get rid of any vehicle they have. They can just add it onto their lease and forget about it in 3 years. That's the best